Welcome back. The Witcher. Fabled book series, wonderful video games, and then there's the Netflix adaptation. I had such high hopes for The Witcher when it was first announced as a show. Although I will say, at the time I said, I think they should just make an animated show, kind of like Castlevania. In retrospect, I was clearly right. I mean, I usually am. But The Witcher started off strong. A little confusing, kind of low production values, but season 1 was pretty good. The cast was great, especially Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia, but I really love Anya Shalata as Yennefer. Freya Allan is okay as Ciri. She looks like Ciri. Sometimes she's great, sometimes she's not. Sometimes she only has 2 facial expressions, which is going to be a problem if she is the new main character going forward, which is what it sounds like, especially with Cavill leaving and Liam Hemsworth replacing him. Anyways, I digress. The final 3 episodes of Season 3 are out now on Netflix. They are Henry Cavill's last 3 episodes in this role, and they're not very good. I admit, I kind of liked them more when I first watched them because it was right after the 5th episode, which was so bad that anything looked good after it. But episode 6 deals with the fallout at the Thanad Ball with Dijkstra and the Redanians going to war with the disloyal mages who are, they make this very hard to follow. Like, the setup is that the northern mages for the northern kingdoms are fighting the mages loyal to Nilfgaard, but they make it very, very confusing in the show. You don't really know what exact, double dealing and politicking is going on. But there's a big fight with the mages, and then the Scoia'tael, the elves come, Francesca and her people, or her elves, come, and there's a big fight, and the mages turn out to be enormous, just losers. They're terrible. Elves with bows are about equally powerful as mages with, all the arcana at their fingertips. These are supposed to be super powerful mages, Stregobor and everyone else, and they can barely beat the elves. It's just so stupid. And it's a terribly choreographed fight. I mean, it's more exciting for sure than what came before, but it's just very poorly done with lots of little conveniences and just, it's just not good. The fight between Geralt and Vilgefortz is slightly better, but I don't understand why the mage is fighting with a staff and not magic. And then the staff is like a spear, apparently, because he stabs him with it. They should have had Geralt get absolutely destroyed in this scene. Broken bones, caved in chest, internal bleeding. He should have looked awful afterwards because he just didn't look that bad that they have to send him to the Dryads to get healed. It doesn't make sense, especially because later Yennefer's the one who heals him. But anyways, the 7th episode deals mostly with Ciri in the desert. She is transported there through a portal at Aretuza when she's fighting with Vilgefortz and escapes. It's a super, super boring episode, honestly. They make some pretty major changes from the books, but I'm not going to talk about the books because I think a show should stand on its own 2 feet. And I think this show could have made a bunch of changes from the books and still stood on its own 2 feet if it just was faithful to the spirit of the books, but it's not. She eventually meets up with the Rats, which is a new group of characters, of interesting characters that, again, I think Netflix has screwed up right from the get-go. But we'll see. We'll see. We don't get a lot of time with them in this season. The final episode deals mostly with Geralt healing. Lots of Geralt healing. Kind of a weird way to send off Cavill, to just have him basically do nothing for the majority of these 3 episodes. But he finally does heal and goes and he gets in one last fight with some guards. It's a cool fight scene against people that don't matter. It's a total throwaway scene. They just want to give him something cool to do in the end, and then that's it. He's off to find Ciri, and that's it. It's so disappointing. Cavill was the only thing holding this show together at this point. I mean, I do think there's other great cast members, but he was holding it together. I don't see how this moves on in any way, shape, or form with the amateur hour going on in the writer's room. The fact that nobody on the writing staff or producers seem to understand this show at all. They've taken a very unique Slavic fantasy and turned it into the most generic possible fantasy world you've ever seen. I mean, it could just be any other show. You basically get no witchery stuff. There's hardly any of Geralt using his potions or signs or hunting monsters or, I mean, what a great show we could have had if it just didn't do all the epic fantasy stuff and it was just basically like Geralt goes and hunts the griffin and goes to the whorehouse and hangs out with the dwarves and hunts this other monster, gets in a fight with these thieves, and then and then you sprinkle in the big stuff. But like X-Files, think about X-Files, right? X-Files started out with there was always this great monster of the week story in X-Files, and there was an overarching plot that sort of sat in the background, right, with the cigarette smoking man and all this other stuff. But that was all background. At least for a really long time in X-Files. But mostly the week-to-week stuff was like a new case each week, something to solve each week. That's how The Witcher should be. It shouldn't be all about this epic story of Nilfgaard and Ciri and the Emperor and the elves and it's just so it's poorly done and it just doesn't work. I would much rather see a Monster of the Week serialized, Geralt of Rivia story, The Witcher. He goes hunting monsters. And then every few episodes, you get something about this bigger plot, the overarching scheming, the politicking, Anyways, the last 3 episodes were pretty disappointing, pretty lackluster. The whole season was just not good. I'm always entertained while I'm watching it to a degree, because there are captivating performances. I love fantasy, but this... I don't know. It seems like they've placed their priorities, their totem pole of priorities is all skewed. They want to have, they want to have diversity. They want to show that, all the sorceresses who can choose to be as beautiful as they want, just choose to be not very beautiful. I was going to use more choice terms, but I don't want to be cancelled. Oh wait, I think I have been cancelled. No. Why are the sorceresses who start out ugly usually, but use their magic to become beautiful, why do they not choose to be beautiful in the show? Because everyone's beautiful. All bodies are beautiful. Dude, if I was a sorcerer who could choose to look any way I want, I wouldn't look like me. I mean, I might look like me, but I'd look at least 60 pounds lighter. Just saying. Anyways, that's it. I don't know what else to say. Super disappointing. Cavill deserved better. The other cast members deserve better. The audience deserved better. Netflix shareholders deserve better. We didn't even get a good song from Jaskier Dandelion this season. We just got him playing for the other side, basically, with Radovid, who's supposed to be a little boy. Thank God they didn't cast him as a little boy. I don't have all this groomer conversation going on. Anyways, all right. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. Much love. Peace.